we've heard the horror stories and the times where people have made up cases and there's been hallucination. They've used ChatGPT and then the bars suspended their license or done something like that.
Yes.
How are we in a world that is continuously adopting and moving towards more AI adoption? How do we reduce this thing? How, for example, in the AI agent that you use, your legal assistant, how do we not have hallucinations?
I'm going to get a little complicated. This is going to get a little technical,
please,
but I'm going to try to explain this in as I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I'm also not a technical sort of specialist. This is everything that I've learned through my own practice and trial and error. Now, here's the thing, right? If you go on to so why are these hallucinations happening? These hallucinations are happening for a bunch of different reasons, some of which are jurisdictions such as Pakistan or majority of the global south jurisdictions do not have digitized court data. It's not very readily available. So when these large language models are training themselves, when companies like OpenAI invest in training ChatGPT or Anthropic invests in training Claude, you get data from specialized companies that specialize in getting this training data to you. Now, the majority of legal data in Pakistan is actually missing. I mean, if you were to go to a high court website tomorrow to get all precedents of that particular high court, would you be able to find it? It's gatekept behind paywalls and websites that only...
And being manual.
And being manual, right?
That's the biggest challenge, I think.
One, data is inherently missing in LLM training. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is LLMs are basically, so more than being intelligent, they're essentially really good at pattern recognition. And they usually miss patterns. It happens all the time. The fake cases that come up, and the reason for it's so significant that the Ministry of Law in Singapore had to come up with guidelines for using ChatGPT for lawyers, right? It's very significant. India has just come up with a statement yesterday that this is not merely an error on part of an LLM. The lawyers will have to be held accountable for fake cases. It's a serious issue.
Oh, wow.
Now, how do you get over this, right? So there's technical things that you do. So, and this is something that we teach. So in the Generative AI for Lawyers Masterclass that we give at Enablify, 500 plus lawyers in Pakistan have graduated from it. All in-house legal counsels of SECP, Pakistan Stock Exchange, House of Habib, JAZ, Ministry of Law and Justice.
Wow. Federal
prosecution. So there's been a lot of interest in people trying to understand how we use AI. So there's a couple of things that you can do. One, you build your own static knowledge-based retrieval augmented generative system. So let me say there's a lot of words. So for example, custom GPTs on ChatGPT. What happens is LLMs have a huge amount of memory that they rely on, or a knowledge base that they're trained on. What you need to do is really limit that knowledge base. And you need to tell an LLM, listen, this is a serious task. I'm building my own knowledge base. Now, this knowledge base includes all of the laws, all of the cases, precedents, etc., and you need to really pull that out. When I ask you for an answer, not general chat and ChatGPT, the custom GPT, I want you to remain in the limits of this knowledge that I've built for you and not go to your own memory. Only go to your own memory if you find something here.
So you feed it with the data set or the case law that you know is reliable, that you've
Absolutely. So that's the first thing, right? Two, it would be criminal to only be using one LLM and one technology. That's not how you do. You oscillate between technologies. So let me give you an example. In Pakistan, one of the best legal research AI tools that I have come up with, I have come across, is AI Attorney. So AI Attorney is trained on 450,000 cases since 1947 till February 2026, 450,000.
Pakistani case.
It's a Pakistani entity based in Islamabad that's created this. Okay. In addition to 70,000 UK reported judgments and 25,000 Indian Supreme Court judgments.
Wow.
In addition to this, it has every single law that has ever been passed at a federal or provincial level in Pakistan, and it's trained on all notifications. So now you have a RAG that has already been built for you, and you'll be surprised at the subscription cost, by the way. It costs 6,000 rupees to subscribe to this, the premium version of this. The base version is priced at around 2500 rupees, like 2,500 rupees.
Wow.
So what happens is, all you need to do is type in, for example, mediation, and it will give you a list of all cases where mediation has been talked about. It will summarize it for you. It will summarize the key points of arguments. It will tell you what cases have been cited in this judgment and which cases have cited this judgment.
Wow.
And then you take all of that data, you go to the chat section and you start chatting away your legal strategy. Or once you have these cases, download them, take them to your GPT, and in your GPT, don't ask it to rely on its own knowledge base. ask it to rely on the laws that you've identified. So you really have to use multiple. So there's ways around it.
Yeah,
but that's why training is important, right?
No, absolutely. That's critical.